Craig Harris, the 22-year-old, surging away. They did it in London, they did it in Rio, they did it in Tokyo, they've done it in Paris. It's 4 in a row.
And it's an Olympic record for Australia.
Welcome to Thursday Lines. I'm your host, Scoot, and apologies, it's Friday, but we're going to get the show in the can, and we welcome MG down in frosty Melbourne. Heater on, brother?
No, nearly short stay, Scoot. Perfect golf weather down here today. Bit brisk this morning, but the sun is out, and I've got my old school playing in the Essendon Grammar, the AGS final today, so this afternoon we play Yarra Valley, and we're just outside of Scoot, so I'm going down for some mental support and going to out-psych the opposition. Just going to bully them a little.
Sounds like you're going for 20 jars of beer, so enjoy that one, MG. Well earned there. Toprope Tedeschi, you under a dark cloud, or is the sun shining up in orange?
The sun's shining up in orange, but in my heart it's a dark cloud. So.
A little bit concerned. I had to go back through your Olympics package, and you missed a trick there in the women's boxing. Couldn't find the biological male in the set. I was absolutely filthy. Do you know what price she went off?
I'm going to say overs, whatever it was.
Did you catch the Cowboys-Tigers game last night, or just burning?
I did catch the Cowboys-Tigers game last night, right back home, and nothing helps you more out of a dark cloud than backing the Tigers and the unders and seeing 78 points scored, nearly 50 by the Cowboys.
Yeah, it was.
It probably wasn't as big a flogging as the scoreline suggested. I thought he was a little stiff to get sent off just on. Chris Barlow, worst referee in the game, caught play on originally. This is really caught play on originally. Jumped from play on to send off, so quite a move there. But Tigers, when I got back in the game, they got back within 12 points and were on the attack, flying. And a selfish play by Isaiah Papali'i himself, 2 unmarked men on the outside. Blew a try, put it up to 6, and all of a sudden they got the other end score and game over.
Last week was pretty good with the Storm cementing their spot first on the ladder. Canterbury Bulldogs are probably the big story. They're now 5th on the ladder after a win over the Broncos, who are all at sea. And if you can smell that, something's cooking, and it's a bit of a coach sacking up here in Queensland. So it's music to your ears, Toprope. That'll cheer you up a little bit. The Roosters too good against Manly. And then Panthers just still reminding everyone there in town with a 46-10 win. So all going well for the NRL, and it's just starting to get to that great time of the year. Troubling signs for MG Swans. They used to be my Swans, but I jump off and on pretty quick. I'm like the on and off bus that just does a couple laps of the city. Not sure what's eating the Swans at the moment, MG, but the Bulldogs are up and about. The boys from the West, the Footscray Football Club, they are flying. Do you think sitting here in one of those funny training loads, that they've taken the foot off the pedal? Are they looking after them? Is it injuries? What's going on with Swans, in your opinion?
Yeah, I would have probably said that before last week, Scoot, that they had the 3 losses that they had were by 1, 2 points and 2 points. So, they could have easily won those, with obviously different circumstances here and there, but they were absolutely smashed by the Bulldogs last week. So, yeah, concerns are definitely there now, because it's a bit more than a training period if that's what they had. And now they go to Port Adelaide away, which they're going to start, pick them just slightly outside us. So, yeah, they wouldn't want to drop this one as well. Then they're right back in the pack. And, there was a couple of big upsets last week, and just even the comp right up. Carlton lost again to Port Adelaide. And, it's definitely shaping as one of the more even and better seasons, we've had in a long time. So it's going to be plenty of finals played over the last month leading in, and might be a last team standing affair this year, Scoot.
Port Adelaide absolutely smashed at the line last week, 16 to 8.5, which was big.
Yeah.
St Kilda with the big upset. Wow. Not sure they warrant any discussion, Essendon, but shut up shop, and we'll talk about them next year, I would have thought. It's all about the Flag Hawk, who are already playing in the finals. They're playing elimination finals every week, and they crushed the Crows, especially after half time. And it's just do or die for the Hawks every week, and they probably play match of the round, which is absolutely beautiful. Paris Olympics are on. plenty of interest around Toprope set there. Found a $7 winner in the shooting yesterday, so he's up and about. Hopefully we can get some results posted over the next couple of days, but a little bit behind the 8 ball, and I'm tipping he'll be watching plenty of league and plenty more Olympics, so we'll do our best to update everyone there. Australia is sitting on 8 gold medals, so do you think they're going to cover that 13.5 line set early by the bookmakers?
Yes. They've got a good chance in the BMX tonight, which will certainly help. But Australia always traditionally builds up that mental tally in the opening week, the swimming, and then takes a hit in the second week when we get to the athletics. But I'm going to say yes. I think we've probably optimised a lot more than the lower middle. So I'd lean towards the yeah.
The swimmers have still got to do the job, though, Toprope, for them to get there, I think, don't they? McAvoy
absolutely.
In the 53 is going to be a crucial one because that's going to come down to a touch. But if the medley get up and then McEwen wins hers, then, you know, and as you said, the BMX, I think they're still on track by maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, it'll be close calls. Good luck.
Yes, yep.
Let's get straight into the AFL Premiership prices. Sydney have ballooned out to $3.80, $4 the Bris Vegas Bears, or Lions, some people call them. Carlton $6.50, Western Bulldogs $8, but the big move is Hawthorn Football Club in from hundreds into $17. So very exciting times there. Fremantle looking menacing too at $8.50. So plenty to run in that one, and obviously it's going to be played at the MCG, so not sure if that suits any of the top 2 sides, but there'll be a couple of sides circling just outside of those top couple of positions that think they're a real big sniff all of a sudden. Looking at the Brownlow, Cripper, he's married to the umpires, $3.30. Tricky Nicky Dacos just keeps racking them up, $4.30. Lockie Neal, $4.90. The Bont, everyone wants the Bont to win, $7.75. You've got Caleb Strong, $9. Merritt at $9.50. And then good old Errol, $15. Coleman's looking like a 2-horse race. Kerno, $1.22. Hogan, $3.50. And then Dempsey's $1.25 over Wardlaw from the Kangaroos as rising star favourite. The Premiership, similar story all year. Penrith have had one hand on it, which is a little bit boring. $2.70. Melbourne Storm $3.60. Roosters $4.20. The Sharks $17. The Bulldogs are the big mover, $17. Toprope, they couldn't do it for you. Canterbury Bulldogs, could they?
Oh, well, one of the best grand final indicators is defensive teams. Usually it's the top 2 defensive teams to play, and Canterbury are the second best defence right now. So probably not there yet, but I'm already booking tickets for the 2025 deciders. So I think we're up to Morales to end Penrith Street next year. No, in all series, I think they're probably a step behind at the moment. They've still got to prove themselves against the better teams in the comp. Haven't really done that just yet. I think I think Penrith are miles ahead of anyone at the moment. And I think the Roosters and the Storm are miles ahead of everyone else. So I think we're probably the best of the rest. If it was Dogs and Sharks getting to the grand final, I'd be all over the Dogs there. But a bit of ground to pull back on those top 3. And the way Penrith came out, Penrith didn't even play well the other day. They had injuries. Just put on a casual 46 against the Dragons. No worries. So it's going to be very hard to beat. Sad as it is to say.
Cleary on fire. All right, let's have a look at MG's round 20 action. 3 wins, 1 loss. So bet 10.5 units, 1-4, so 38% pot, and he's just a tick under 4% for the season. So doing well, got his nose in front there. And then Mr. Tedeschi, 20-unit bet, 11 loss, 54%, bit sticky. Still winning 10% for the year, 38 units. So nothing to...
Also, we'll just say one of the worst beats of all time that we're going to cop throughout the year as well. I think the 5 truck, I think, made a second or third year on the Roosters, absolutely flogging Manly, and then conceded 3 intercept. I've never seen that in the thousands of games of rugby league. 3 second-half intercept tries, including 2 in 4 minutes, final score 4. So that was fun.
Yeah, that was a bit ugly on that 8.5 line. So a couple of our fans on Twitter had followed you in with a fair bit of confidence, and they were spitting chips after the game too. So. Yeah, he can only do so much sometimes in the world of the tip and the punt, and humans always let you down. Let's have a look at Friday night action at Marvel Stadium. Western Bulldogs $1.29 against the hapless Melbourne Demons $3.60. The Lions is 22.5. If you said that at the start of the season, you'd be telling someone they were completely crackers. 168.5 is the total here, and MG.
Yeah, it's a good kickoff tonight. We've actually got a double header tonight, which is very unusual for us. We've got a game in Perth afterwards West Coast, Gold Coast for those who are just thinking that there's the norm of one. We've actually got two. So there's 2 league and 2 AFLs this week. But yeah, we kick off Bulldogs mini final for Melbourne, 8th v 11th. This is an elimination final for Melbourne, and it's their first trip to Marvel as well, whereas the Bulldogs have played 10 times there this year for a 6-4 record. Form in different directions here, Scoot. Bulldogs have won their last 3, Melbourne have lost their last 2, and the Bulldogs have won 5 out of their last 6. So, yeah, that probably represents the line. There's been solid support for Bulldogs so far. The line's moved a tad their way. I'm going to probably just wait to see if it keeps moving. I think Melbourne's going to end up a play here. I'm happy to chime in at the plus 22, but I think you might eke out maybe another point or two here. So probably bet as late as you can on the Melbourne on the plus. I think it's a big start. It'll be a finals-like game for them, and I think Melbourne are going to try and drag this game into the mud. It's their only chance to compete with the Bulldogs. If it's an open game and Bulldogs can win it out of the mids, then they'll put a score on Melbourne. But so I'm going to go with that train on the unders. I think the unders is the big play here. We bet pretty early, missed the 172, unfortunately, got in at 171, now to about 168 here, Scoot. Not sure it's got too much more movement in it, but it'll definitely trend down if it's going to move. A couple of big stats is the underdog here at Marvel in the last 12 games, 11 the dog has covered, so 11 out of 12. So I think 22 is a big start, and if you're going to play the under and the plus, I think that's the way to go in tonight's game. But no pot on the Bulldogs. I just think it's a big start, and I think finals team, I don't think they'll get near the 170 total.
Doggies might need a little bit of a breather too. They had the game against the Cats in the mud, which I was pretty keen to take them on afterwards. Then they proved me wrong and showed how much of a pickle I am. And they went up there and touched up the Swans. So
they're off a 5-day break too, Scoot, which is something that we love to follow. So Melbourne off a 6-day break. So yeah, it just might be a patch here where the Bulldogs may be vulnerable here.
And then they got the Crows. So they got a road trip after this. So they might just give themselves a bit of they might look after themselves a little bit here. So interesting to see how that one plays out. Quick one, MG, question without notice. The West Coast Sunny Boys game, the second of the doubleheader. Any lean there? Can Suns overcome their mental block on the road, I'll call it?
Yeah, well, other than playing West Coast, obviously Gold Coast to Perth is a long road trip and always traditionally one of the toughest, both off a 6-day break. Yeah, the money has gone for Gold Coast, open 14, gone to 16, but yeah, you got too much money. I think if you're playing in this game and if you're going to take Gold Coast, who haven't looked like it on the road to win, West Coast have got no incentive, and Gold Coast, if they lose this week, then their season's over as well. But yeah, no, I just think there's better options to play for the week, Scoop.
Bit of incentive for the Gold Coast boys to go on holidays early, so they might just chuck it straight in the towel. I couldn't back them with stolen money at $1, what is it, 42 or whatever it is, on the road. That's just very, very sticky. This is a real tricky one. The Dolphins at home on the road in Perth. I see Wayne Bennett doing Media Street this week at Toprope. Roosters, $1.27, 3.80 the Dolphins, 10.5 the line here and 50.5. Have they blown their load, or they done, the Dolphins, for the season, or have they still got some fire in the belly?
It's going to be a tough road over from here, but I think they can. I think they can keep it close against the Chooks. But this is really a pretty similar moment from right here. They've faded pretty badly of late. Good for Perth to get the great game of rugby league on its doorstep, and Wayne Bennett, greatest coach in Australian sport there. So big week for Perth. They'll enjoy having the Dolphins in town, and I think they can live for this one. They've covered 12 of 18, getting out of more, 4 of the last 5 interstate, 5 distributing against top 4 teams. Chooks, typically not great against top 8 teams, and typically a great cover for win cover, only 41%. So a bit more taking the Dolphins blinded on faith here, but I'll be taking some of the 10 though.
Just too big. And Victor Radley, a bit of anytime try scorer, $3.60, found a little angle there.
Oh, stupid price. This is his best try scoring season ever. He's got 6. He's got 3 in the last 4 weeks. He shifted to an edge. He was at the middle for most of the year, shifted to an edge, and has thrived there. So, like him to score a try to great bet.
Outstanding. All right, let's have a look at Saturday night, and it's traditional rivals, Collingwood versus Carlton, 12th v 4th. In danger zone here in Carlton for their double chance, and really making a meal of the last half of the season. $1.57 though, the Blues. Collingwood, $2.40. 10.5 the line, 168.5. Collingwood need Hawthorn and the Bulldogs to go south if they're going to play finals, but they're in a menacing position to cause a headache here for the Blues.
Yeah, be a cracker there, Scoot. Hoping to get a seat there Saturday night. It should be a big crowd for Pendlebury's 400th. So he is only the sixth player in history to reach 400 games, and not many better CVs in the game than Pendlebury. A couple of flags and a Norm Smith, bunch of best and fairest and all Australians. So congratulations to him. Be a big crowd. Collingwood's home game, so they'll definitely turn out Saturday night. Does look a few showers in the area, but won't stop the Collingwood boys rocking up to it. So. Yeah, it should be a good contest. Geez, the good news is for one of the supporters, Scoot, one of them will get a win. Collingwood have lost 4 of their last 5. As you said, they're an elimination off 6-day break, and Carlton have lost 3 of their last 4, and all of a sudden a loss here will tumble them potentially out of the top 4. So this is going to be as good as a final gets. It's actually not listed as a final. Money's been for Collingwood here, plus 14. They open now down to plus 10. I think the money will keep coming for the Pies here, Scoot. Combination of a chance for showers, low-scoring game at night in a finals pressure. I don't think there'll be too much scoring. I think this game will be up for grabs in the last quarter. So we were keen to back Collingwood at the plus here. We've got our chips in at the best of it so far. The only thing that does worry me a bit is Carlton's night record this year has been outstanding. They've won 8 of 9 night games at the MCG this year, whereas Collingwood have only won 3 of 12. So there's a big stark there, although Collingwood have won the head-to-head record. They dominate Carlton 16-6 on their recent history, and they won the earlier matchup in round 8 by 6 points, so I expect another close one, Scoot. Happy to be on the Pies at the plus.
Did you hear Toprope MG just sort of signal at the start of this saying, I'm looking for a seat? He means a seat in the corporate box. So whoever runs the corporate box listens to this show. So he's just angling and itching his way to get a start. You wouldn't sit in the outer winter for this game, MG.
I've got a seat, Scoot. I'm just sneaking in.
I find it hard to believe MG sits in the outer in any game. He's a corporate ticket, long lunch kind of man.
Oh,
that is not
God.
true. That is not true, Toprope. You know I'm a man of the people. I sat out with Nicky in an Origin game. Now, if that's not doing hard yards, I don't know what is.
Oh, red hot. So MG will be posting on his Instagram account. He's got his feet up. He'll be in the cozy box. Just on the backup, actually, from the afternoon match at Essendon Grammar. So he's got a big week on the drink, MG. So hope you steel yourself for that. Saturday night up at the Shire is Cronulla Sharks versus the Rabbits. $1.27, $3.80 South Sydney, and then 10.5 the line, 49.5 here. Just going the Rabbits.
I think their shots kind of come and gone with the injury to Latrell to kind of make that last ditch run. I think this is a great chance for the Sharks to get the season back on track. They've and this is playing into one of my favourite angles you get this time of year. Top 4 teams off a loss cover 85% of games. We missed out last week with the Roosters, which I obviously was just bitching and moaning about, but it's a real good spot for the Sharks. And if they are serious about kind of refining some of that old form that can make them a genuine threat, they're going to do a number on South here. Yeah, Sharks have covered 11 of 16 at Shark Park, 8 of 12 at Shark Park as a double-digit favourite. Bottom 4 teams off a loss of more than 7 covered as 41%. South have covered just 2 of their last 9 as an underdog away or more. I'll be truckloading into the Sharks here.
Outstanding stuff. 4-unit play on his greatest game of all set, so he means business with that one. Saturday night, Port Adelaide and Sydney is a cracker. Let's say it's second best, or it's probably rivaling match of the round with Hawks Giants in all seriousness. But this is when we find out what Port Adelaide power are made out of. And historically, usually it's fluff. Usually there's not much under the surface. So a little call out here for Port Adelaide to prove me wrong, and might just get them a goal or 2. But Port Adelaide are $1.90 here against the Swans, $1.90, and the total is 166.5. Oh, there's just too many questions here. You just expect the Swans to bounce back, but I did remember early in the season, they were slow out of the gates against the Crows when they met the Crows over at Adelaide Oval, MG.
They've been slow out every first quarter. I think John Longmire should get them actually to play the first quarter before the first quarter starts, so they're up and going. But this is co-match of the round for me, Scoot. This is a cracking game. This is a real good test for both teams. A final, as you said, Port need a scalp at home. getting Sydney off losing 4 out of their last 5 when Port have won 4 of their last 5. They're not going to get a better opportunity. Their head-to-head record against Sydney's outstanding. They've won last 7 games, so 7 straight to Port Adelaide at home with won their last 2. Sydney have lost their last 2. They're not going to, off an 8-day break compared to Sydney's 6-day break, they're not going to get a better opportunity to beat the top side. So I reckon this is a steel test for both, Scoop. Sydney need the win to get back on the board. Otherwise, all of a sudden, top spot's not guaranteed anymore. And Port Adelaide, if they don't get over the line against this, then they're just not. They can't win the flag because they can't beat the top sides when they're in awkward positions. So I was surprised Sydney actually came out just favourites. It's now pick 'em. I think Port will start favourite. I was happy to play in the Port Adelaide margins of the 1-39 here just for the value. I think it'll be a tight game. They've got low history between them. They only average 154 points over their last 14 games between them. And I just think at night, again, it'll be a finals-like atmosphere. Both got good records. Sydney outstanding this year at night, Scoot. They're 9-1. So Port aren't too shabby at 7-4. So, yeah, this has all the makings. Both Saturday night's games will be outstanding. So, looking forward to it. I think I'm going to shade Port Adelaide, even though I want Sydney to win, but I just think Port Adelaide here at home have to get the job done.
Hawks fans will be cheering desperately for the Swans. They're probably one of the weaker links with the Bulldogs that can fall out. So I think they're only one game and a tiny little bit of percentage in front of the Hawks. So I'll have my Sydney hat on and my Hawthorn hat on, cheering Port to crumble. But fascinating contest, and it should be a ripper. Panthers versus Knights Sunday at Panther Stadium. Panthers 111, 670 the Knights, 8.5 the line here, and 47.5 the total top rope. Just a procession job again for the Penny Panthers?
Well, potentially. I kind of really wanted to come to Newcastle this week at a big line. Penrith done a great record of covering huge lines. They've covered us 4 of the last 11 as a double-digit favourite at home. But and Newcastle have covered 14 and 17-day game, 7.5 lost. But some of the team changes were just absolutely moronic. Like dropping Hastings, which is probably fair enough, replacing his finished cost of the halves. That's just an apartment. So, no bet game for me. Lean probably towards the under, if anything. But it's a tough one. It could be a very similar to last week's game where a few breaks go the Panthers' way, and all of a sudden, they're not putting on open 30 points. They put on 46. So it's it can be all over there. So leaning towards the under. But that's probably in this kind of tough game.
You must be crook not wanting to bet. Let's have a look at...
I will bet. Make no mistake about that. Because saving the punters some of the pain.
It is a different thing, betting and tipping. But Sunday is close to match around here. It's up at Manuka Oval in Canberra. So $1.80 GWS, $2 the Hawks, 2.5 the line, 168.5 the total. MG. Frosty up at Canberra Sunday. Hawkers, do they go in the cold weather?
It'll be clear by then, I think. Scoot, early morning fog. Cracking match, Scoot. We finally got your Hawks on the board here. 5th v 9th. 2 of the hottest sides in the AFL. Giants have won 4 straight and the Hawks have won 3 straight, but the Hawks have won 10 of their last 12. And they've covered 11 of their last 12, which is just outstanding football to beat the market by that much, to be 11 and 1 of your last 12 games. So no pot on either team here, Scoot. I just think at home, Giants this year 7-2. Hawthorn have been very good on the road. They're 5-3 while playing interstate, so no pot on them. But I just think the Giants at home. Surprised the market's kind of gone Hawthorn's way, open 4 down to 2. So I think at this stage I'm going to look to play the Giants. I just want to see where the market bottoms out before playing to the Giants. Not too much between them. As I said, no pot on Hawthorn. I just think home ground advantage for the Giants. Not many injuries between the two of them, both off solid breaks, so neither team's got an excuse. It's a final for both. I think the loser out of this might be in trouble to play finals. So, this is a final for both sides. I just think Giants at home will get it done, but it will be a cracking match. Interesting
because, GWS, they're fifth, so it's a real bottleneck. And I'll be glued to the television. And realistically, I'm a bit like Toprope. I think the Hawks are probably next year. And I could easily see them just cough one up in the next couple of weeks and eliminate themselves. Let's have a look at Canterbury Bulldogs versus Raiders, the last game of the round at Belmore. $1.38 the Dogs, Canberra Raiders 3.05, the Lions 8.5 and 47.5 the total there at Top Sport.
So it's a tricky one for the Dogs. So this is a bit of a trap game for the Bulldogs here. Still happy to have a small bet, the minus here, but the Raiders have dominated the Bulldogs. Won 9 straight against Canterbury. And instead of though, I'm just talking about how well the Hawks start beating the line. The Bulldogs 12-4 against the spread in their last 16, so they're ahead of the market there. Covered 6 of their last 8 day games, 6 of the last 8 are scoring 30 plus. The Raiders 15-31 against the spread for win, 13-24 against the spread and afternoon footy. So got to have a little something on the Dogs here. You packed Belmore. First time Belmore has been this up and about in a long, long time, with Canterbury on the verge of a finals win. But super important game for the Dogs as well. Like, the Raiders have been widely pan-favourite played this year. The Bulldogs have been lauded. There's one in between them. The Raiders go equal on points with the Dogs if they beat the Dogs. So big game here, big game. So must win for both. And I think the Dogs will get down and have something small on the minus.
When's Stephen Crichton going to return for the Doggies? He's obviously key.
This week.
He's back?
This week.
Chips in Bulldogs.
And the Fox is also back.
Yeah. I'd say they're a good thing. You know, all that history, and they got Wood over them. They're a new look side, Canterbury. I'm on.
Don't you go jump on the Dogs like you jumped on the Warriors.
Oh, am I that transparent?
Here goes the end of the Doggies.
Yeah.
How the Warriors and Swans done that this hurt.
That's all right. Still a long way to run. The Swans could be foxing. But after last Sunday, I'm a little bit worried, to be honest. It's beyond terrible from the Swans. So, I still think they can bounce back. They'll be right. It's a long season, and you just got to peak at the right time. Just ask anyone that barracks for Geelong or Essendon about peaking at the right time. Peaking at the right time is everyone that's jumped on board the greatest game of all. If you had been on there from the start, you'd be in front. You'd be 38 units in front, and MG's winning at 4%. So still a long way to run, but the boys will be marching into the finals, and usually the finals run pretty straight. So should be a great end to the season for them. I think that's a little bit of a wrap from us. Just onwards and upwards for the Olympic Games, and interested to see how Mr. Tedeschi tackles the Algerian boxer at the next start. We might see a 10-unit play at $1.04 or $1.10.
20 units.
Oh, gosh.
So,
MG, good luck on the weekend. Hope you get into the cosy box, and you'll probably need it after a little session out in the outer at Essendon Grammar. Hope the boys do well, but good luck on your little 2-day bender.
Yeah, one of the best rounds of AFL I've seen in a long time, Scoot. There's a lot of finals being played early, so looking forward to it.
Hopefully the umpires put the whistle away and just let the boys play. All right, we'll see you next week for more Thursday Lines, and we'll be back to regular programming next week. We'll have Thursday Lines on a Thursday, and we'll have Bet Doctor Racing Show, and should be happy days now from August, and we'll rip right through till the end of the season in both AFL NRL, and obviously the racing season kicks into gear. So happy birthday as from yesterday for all the horses and anyone that has a birthday on August the 1st. There seems to be a lot of people, but over and out for us, and good luck, and enjoy the sport on the weekend.